Hi everybody, Lori here for Simon Says Stamp. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm excited to introduce you to the new Cheering for You release with Simon Says Stamp, and I'm going to walk you through all of these fun new products, starting with a few new stamp designs. First up, we have a 6x6 background. This is a clear acrylic stamp called Old Letter, and it's got that really old-fashioned scripty kind of what do you call it? Like a written with a quill and a bottle of ink. It reminds me of the Declaration of Independence. I don't think I can read it. Is it even in English? I'm not sure, but I love the look of it. It's even got little speckledy, like kind of making the paper look old and worn out. Next we have Graceful Flowers. This stamp set was part of the latest card kit, but now it's included in the Cheering for You release along with the coordinating dies. This is a beautiful floral stamp set with heartfelt sentiments. I'll read through them. We have Here's to a New Chapter. The world needs more people like you. Sending love and hugs. You're amazing. Love you. You got this. Thinking of you and wishing you the best. And then a large floral swag, a great mixture of like kind of handwritten font there mixed in with some traditional. Next is Hello, a little mini, kind of a fun little bubble letter hello with the sun peeking out the back with sunglasses on. There's the coordinating dies to go with it. And then next we have Cheering, another little mini. You got the big bold cheering you on and all these sub-sentiments. You can do it. I believe in you. I'm right here. I'm your biggest fan. Good things are coming your way today and every day. And then we have the Cheering standalone die, but it's also a coordinating die because that shadow can cut out the stamped cheering you on sentiment. But then you can also use the standalone by itself, just the cheering you on I did here in white and dull pink. It's the same exact size as the stamp, so you could use them together with those sub sentiments or use just the stamp set by itself or just the standalone die by itself. That's Cheering. And then next we have Halloween Friends. This is a cute one. It has the coordinating dies to the left. You can see you've got Trick or Treat, Smell My Feet, Happy Halloween, Boo, Have a Spooktacular Halloween with all these cute little kids dressed up for Halloween. It's coming right around the corner, couple months away, but you know how that goes. And then we have Spooky Sweets, another Halloween themed, kind of Halloween cupcake themed stamp set. This is a larger stamp set. You've got these spooky cupcakes. Your Spooky Sweet, Trick or Treat, Booyah, Happy Halloween, and then of course the coordinating dies to go with all those images and to go with the sentiments, which I love. So it's Spooky Sweets. Next up, we have Just Right, a big pencil, jumbo pencil stamp set, kind of back to school themed here. You have a couple different stamps. This one right here is kind of a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, like a background. And then you have one large jumbo pencil, several sentiments. You're so sharp, well done. You're just right for me. I'm so sorry. Where's my eraser? I think you're just right. And then you have the coordinating dies to go with that jumbo pencil and those sentiments there. And then there's a couple of stencils that kind of, go along with this theme. You have Just Right Jumbo Pencil. And this stencil goes with that jumbo pencil, so you can blend the color in all the different areas. And what's cool is there's different stencils for all the angles on the pencil, so you could really get some darker tones and give that dimension. And this is Just Right Layered Pencils. This doesn't coordinate with the stamp set. It's just kind of a background layering stencil set that gives you a whole background of colorful pencils. There's several stencils in the set. I'll kind of layer them up. It's really kind of hard to get the feel, but you're getting all those different angles of the pencil, so you can do them different tones. And then you've got the wood on the pencil, the eraser, and the point, and all that stuff. I'll go back to the image on the back of the packaging so you can see how that really looks. So you can get those different tones on the pencil, and it gives it like dimension. I love all that look. I love pencils and pens and markers. You're probably just like me. Anything with pencils and pens back to school, I love it. Next up is music. For the music lovers, there is a coordinating die set to go with the images and the sentiments. You get a big staff, treble clef with hearts, wishing you silly love songs, happy birthday to you, You are the song in my heart. I love that. I love you for sentimental reasons. You tug at my heartstrings. You still make my heart sing with every beat of my heart. Happy anniversary, just a note, and XOXO, and then a few different music notes that are like in the shape of a heart. So it's like heart and love and music all mixed together. Last but not least, we have football season. For the football lovers, do we have any football lovers? I just became one, Travis Kelce. Now I like the Chiefs. But you got way to go, you're a winner, cheering for you, time out, it's your birthday. You can customize the jersey with the numbers if you have a football player in your family or in your life. That's a good one. Here's some standalone dies. We have Simple Sending Love, which I did in white, and I put it on the purple shadow backer. I love how this is all one die. Even the tittle is attached to the N. So it's easy, user-friendly. I did it in white and purple. And then we have the layering apple. This is really cute. I love apples for back to school, for the fall. You can do a whole background of different colors of apples. I love the different shades there. You get that darker shadow. And then we got Halloween, Bat Trio. You get 3 different sizes of kind of bats in flight. And I did those out of black cardstock here, and you can see the 3 different sizes. You can just kind of scatter those around. Instead of using embellishments for your Halloween cards, just use some bats. I love that. If you love Halloween, then the trio of bats is going to be right up your alley. Here we have Delicate Hummingbird Duo. These are tiny little delicate hummingbirds. And I just die cut them out of white cardstock, and I use ink to add color. Like I blended the ink on the white die cuts to add the color. And I do want to show you the die so you understand. It's all one shebang, and I just die cut it out of white cardstock. You could also do solid color cardstock. So there's a lot of different ways you can add color. Cosmos Duo. Nice stem. I did white and yellow centers. You could definitely make these all different kinds of colors. Again, these are beautiful, intricate. There's the detail in them when you die cut it. And then next we have Beautiful Buttercup. And here we did the 2 different shades, kind of to give you that dimension. I did add a little bit of ink blending to that lighter pink, part of the flower, just to give it a little something something. So I did 2 shades of pink solid color cardstock, a green stem, and I added some subtle ink blending. Here we have Swing Blossoms. A nice little swingy. That's a nice little swingy floral cluster that can frame a sentiment. You could do 2 of those, make a wreath. You could die cut this like the foliage out of vellum and add your blooms in all different kinds of colors. A lot of different variations to customize. Here we have Tuscan Olive Branch. So this one gives you the foliage and the olive separately. I didn't adhere those yet, but I wanted to show you how it's 2 different things. And then there's a single little leaf there that you can add and do that in a lot of different colors. Here we have Pointel rings, Pointiel, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but 2 different kind of like doily ring sizes. When you die cut it, die cuts all those little holes in it. I think you could maybe even add some stitching to that with your embroidery floss. I'm just spitballing, but couldn't you thread some threads in there? If you like to stitch on your cards, it's giving me doily vibes. Very cute. That's Pointel rings. Next we have Arching Leaf Border. So this gives you this border of foliage, which I did out of green cardstock, and then all these other little leaves and branches extras that you could insert to just fill it out. You could do some out of vellum, different shades of green here, or you could use those leaves just by themselves. Maybe you have some blooms and you want to add some leaves to it. You can use this die set to get your leaves. A lot of different ways to use this, and it's a beautiful frame for a sentiment. Here we have Morning Garden Floral Frame, and this creates a frame, and I did the frame out of green and then all the blooms out of different shades of solid color cardstock, glued them on. You could just glue that onto a white card base. You could back it with acetate and make a shaker. Here we have Pinpoint Circle Background. A2 4¼ by 5½ inch die. I die cut it here out of Island Blue. You get all those little circular dot patterns, kind of a repeating pinpoint pattern. Here's a little trio that kind of coordinate together. The Geo-Me trees dies. So it's different shapes of kind of geo trees. There's like the triangular tree, circular tree, there's a trunk, and then there is the Geo-Me trees backdrops, which are just kind of the open shapes, and you have the Geo-Me trees stencil. So you could blend the color, die cut it with the open dies, or you could blend the color and die cut it, overlay it with the detailed dies. You can mix and match these products together to get a lot of different looks with the Geo-Me trees. And last we have candy corn border. Another great one for the upcoming Halloween season. This is a long, I would say if you want to keep it all intact, this is probably like a slimline or a mini slimline. It's probably around 7, I didn't measure it, but I'm guessing around 7 inches, 7½. But you could cut it to make it fit an A2 size. Here I did it out of some soft gray, orange, yellow, and white for the traditional candy corn. Moving on to some new Kathy Zilske products, we have the U standalone die, which I die cut here to show you. It's true to size. I did it out of white with an Island Blue shadow backer, and this coordinates well with the U stamp set. So you get that bold U and all these sentiments to go with it. Thinking about you, sending a hug to you, I just love, grateful for, rock, shine, love, you go girl, thank you, hey you are the best. You are my raison d'etre. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. That's French. I'm going to have to Google that one. You are my everything. You are my favorite. You make the world a kinder place. You are the best human I know. You will be okay. You will find your way. You can do it. I'm here for you. Happy birthday to you. You are a star. I admire you. I believe in you. You are amazing. You are my person. A great sentiment stamp set that pairs well with that big, bold you. Great set by Kathy Zilske. And then we have the big bat. This is just a die set. You've got the big, like half of a bat, kind of hangs off a standard A2 size card, which I did here out of some dark kind of slate cardstock. Looks great on a green panel. And then you got the Hey Boo kind of word die, which I did out of white and purple. And then there's 2 smaller little bats that are kind of just flying ahead of the big bat. It gives you that sense of distance. Okay, moving along to a few more stencil designs. First up, we have this Monstera leaf layering stencil set. It's a big old, do you say Monstera? Is that how you pronounce it? Look at how you can layer these up. You can do a bunch of different shades of green cardstock, light, medium, dark, really dark, and it's going to give you that dimension. A big bold leaf that would fit right on an A2 size card. All you'd have to do is add a little sentiment. And then we have the sunflower pattern, another layering stencil set with the beautiful detailed sunflowers here. You have like 3 rows of 3 sunflowers. See how they can build up the pattern for the petals. And then you have this pattern that goes like vine foliage in between the sunflowers, more petals. It's a very detailed layering stencil set, kind of a repetition of sunflowers. The back of the packaging shows you an example of how it can look. And then lastly, we have wavy rays, just one stencil that creates this wavy kind of hypnotic background. You could use this with some paste, ink blend the waves in different colors, and that is wavy rays. Moving along to a few new embossing folder designs. We have several new ones. Some are just embossing folders, some are embossing folder plus the cutting die. First up is the crimped blossoms, and so you've got the embossing folder and 2 dies that you can use with or without. So here's what it looks like when you just emboss the background. You get that beautiful detail. I embossed it on a panel of dull pink cardstock, and then I die cut the blooms, put them back into the embossing folder to give them that texture, and you can pop those into the design, or you can use the blooms on their own on a project. You don't have to use it with, you can use it without. A lot of different options. That is crimped blossoms. Here we have tumbling flowers, and I die cut this out of some cornflower blue cardstock. Beautiful floral, kind of cascading from corner to corner. One die cut. I put it back in the embossing folder, pops on there into the design like so with that texture, and there you have tumbling flowers. Next up is fresh blooms, and I die cut this one out of some kind of Audrey blue cardstock. Very beautiful texture. Are these sunflowers or daisies? I'm not sure. It says fresh blooms. I did the die cuts out of some bright yellow, put them back in the embossing folder for that texture. They kind of line up perfectly with the two blooms on the bottom there. You could see you could add some ink blending to get more detail, like in the center if you wanted to ink blend that center brown. You could do that. And then here's one that's just an embossing folder, no die cuts. It's the swirled ridges. This is very cool. It's like swirly whirly. It's giving me Willy Wonka swirls. It's mesmerizing and amazing texture on this bright orange cardstock. Here we have rolling waves, another embossing folder without the die cut, and this is incredible texture. It's almost like corrugated cardboard. You just want to like feel it. It's incredible, the texture. Next up is Blossom Swag, which I think this was included in a latest card kit, but now it's also part of the Cheering You On release. And look at that beautiful kind of, it almost like creates a natural frame that you could add a sentiment right in the center. You could do some ink blending to get more detail. You know all the amazing ink blending or inking techniques with embossing folders now. Lastly, we have bubble rings. This one steals the show for me. I mean, the texture is incredible. Even the back side. You could use the front or the back, and they're both very cool. That is bubble rings out of some kind of burnt orange cardstock. Moving on to some foiled transfer cards. First up is the Witch Please, and these are Kathy Zilske designs. You get 4 sheets, and they're kind of like toner printed on white cardstock. You can foil these. There's also some Witch Please products previously released by Kathy Zilske from like last year's Halloween release, and those will also be included. You can buy all this witch themed products as a bundle in the Cheering You On release, so look for that. If you like this theme, you can buy all those products together. Here we have the acetate bats, and these are acetate sheets. They are not white cardstock. There's 4 sheets in a pack. I'm just going to lay them on some cardstock here so you can see the design. There's 4 different designs. These can be foiled. You can use them for shaker cards. You can cut out little individual if you want to foil up the bats, but cut them out. This might coordinate with the trio of bat dies. I should have checked that one out, but that is the acetate bats. And then lastly, we have the Starry Sky foil transfer cards. So these are 4 cardstock cards, not acetate. You get 2 reverse and 2 with stars, and you can foil these. So it's a good price point if you don't want to buy a hot foil plate. You can just buy 4 sheets and foil them up. And, if you like to do a little foiling, but you don't want to have a lot of expense. Moving on to some new black sentiment strips. We have the birthday wishes on black and the reverse birthday wishes on black cardstock. So hopefully you can see here, these can be foiled, and then the background's going to be black. So it gives you the drama. If you want to have the drama, it's great for the upcoming Halloween season, but maybe you just like a gold sentiment on black. And here you have the reverse. So this is going to foil the outer and leave the word or the sentiment black. So it'll be a foiled sentiment with the wording black. Give you it in the reverse. And here we have the bold hello on black and the reverse bold hello on black. You get 4 sheets. They are all identical, so all the same sentiments on every sheet. That's the bold hello, and then here's the reverse bold hello. Hopefully you can see that, how that's going to foil the outer and leave the sentiment black. So check out the website, the Simon Says Stamp website, to see examples of this in action. It's very dramatic. More exciting extras. We have 2 new packs of thin 3D foam squares in 2 different sizes. And I got to tell you, there's a few different sizes of foam squares by Simon Says Stamp, but the thin ones are my favorite. So these are great. You get the, the dimensions. 0.5 by 0.5 by 0.04. They're very thin. And these are the even smaller, like mini little foam squares, but the thin thickness. Great to have. There's a pack of acetate cards you can buy. These are A2 size acetate cards. They're pre-folded. You just pop one out and look at that. I don't think I've ever made an acetate card, but I'm thinking now's the time. Could be fun to try that out. And then you have a package of black. These are pre-scored side fold cards, A2 size. So all you got to do is take them out of the pack, fold them, and you got yourself ready to go black card base. Great for the Halloween projects. Great for the drama. You can also get a pack of A7 cotton candy pink envelopes. These are the ones where you just remove that strip. They're self-adhesive. They're size A7 in the color cotton candy. These are also available in the Cheering You On release. 2 new embellishment mixes. We have the Summer Sunset embellishment mix. It's kind of a pinky, corally red. I don't know, it's not red, it's not pink, it's kind of in between. And then the Garden Blooms embellishment mix. And these are kind of iridescent, yellowy, chartreusey green. Great for shakers, great for embellishment. There's also a pack of Blue Lagoons ink cubes, 6 ink cubes in the pack. These are also available in full size, but now you can buy them in the ink cube size. The colors are Dew, Mist, Raindrop, Cabbage, Artichoke, and Kale. So some teals and some greens. The positively saturated inks, stamp like butter, blend like butter, and now you have a small little travel size, or maybe if you want to test out these colors but you don't want to invest in the full size, ink cubes are the way to go. Last but certainly not least, also included in the Cheering You On release are the coordinating dies that coordinate to the new Tim Holtz Cling stamp set. So this is floristry, and this is a beautiful floral and a lot of sentiments. And I just realized there's also kind of an acrylic block that you could adhere that large floral image to. So you have all these sentiments and that large floral cluster, and now Simon Says Stamp has the coordinating dies for that large floral cluster and also small little ones. So you could die cut individual blooms within that floral cluster if you want to isolate those. And so we have several new die sets. Next is the Sign Painter stamp set by Tim Holtz. And then now we have the coordinating dies to go with it. We have the Sign Painter letters and the Sign Painter numbers. 2 different die sets that coordinate with the Tim Holtz Cling stamp set. I love an alphabet stamp set. Here's embroidery, and then we have the coordinating dies to go with those 3 floral kind of swags. That's embroidery. And then lastly, we have the, what is this called? French Garden. So beautiful kind of roses. And then we have the coordinating French Garden dies to go with the Tim Holtz Cling stamp set. So those are the new coordinating dies, part of the Cheering You On release that coordinate with Tim Holtz stamp sets. And that is everything in the Cheering You On release. Before I go, I just wanted to share a couple projects that I've created using some of these new products. Here I used the Morning Garden floral frame. I turned it into a shaker, and then I used the Simple Sending Love for the sentiment. And this card features the Kathy Zilske Big Bat die set with some rainbow strips in the background. Make sure and check out the Simon Says Stamp blog for more inspiration and information on this Cheering for You release. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.
Hi there, I'm Heidi, Simon's mama and founder at simonsaysStamp.com. Thank you so much for watching our video. If you like what you just saw, be sure to press the thumbs up and subscribe to see more great content.